Hello everyone and welcome to the latest edition of the UDS Sharky Awards 2022. This time we're talking about video games, our favourite ones of the year, the favourites that released in 2022. You are either listening to this on the UDS podcast platform or UDS Gaming on YouTube. If you're on either of them, why not follow us on the other one as well? It's a good time. 2022 has been too many twos, but it's been a good year for video games as well. This is hard to do when Dobbie's judging me over my shoulder the entire time. And indeed, this is Dobbie on my left here. How you doing, Dobbie?
I'm always on the left, Tom. Left of Tom is where I always want to be.
And Tom is your right wing.
He is my right wing.
Yeah.
None of this is true. I am a communist. Also, fighting the good fight is one Ryan Upton.
Hello.
And balancing us all out with some terrible takes is Craig Bourne.
Hello, everybody. Tom made it political very early on.
No, I didn't! That was all Dobbie.
I think you'll find it was me.
It's definitely Craig.
I don't know. He said he was the left.
Very good.
You said I was the left.
Yeah, because...
We are knee deep in Sharkies, right? Right?
Oh, no.
You want to be wrist deep?
I think I'd rather have my hand in than a foot.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to be in a shark, if I'm honest.
What are we talking about this episode?
We're talking about the best video games in 2022. So this has been a year, much like movies and TV shows, that has been disrupted by the lag of the COVID delays and whatever. And so it's probably been a quieter year than most for video games. And maybe that will reflect on our... what the fuck are you doing?
Brand promo.
Seafarers.
You're a fan of Seafarers,
Not Spawn.
It's very dark.
Basically, you've taken away the ad revenue for this video.
But we've made it back from Seafarers. A great quality. There you go. That's what you need.
Pepsi Max.
Got us through the hard times.
There's more to come. So video games, yeah, it's been affected by the pandemic, so probably a quieter year than most, but will this reflect on our favourite games of the year? What really got us going during those dark times? I'm going to go to my good friend Craig to tell me his favourite games of 2022.
I don't really have a lot, and I think that's the same for everyone, as you mentioned. We are still feeling the effects of COVID. Just a lot of studios weren't built for remote working, so most of the pandemic was them trying to figure that out, as much as I'm aware. However, there are 4 games that released this year that stick out to me. The first is Tunic. It looks like a Zelda-like, but it is a lot more than that. You start off as a fox in a magical world, and you have this old video game manual. The game is in a coded language as well, and it's just an adventure from there of discovery. And there are so many moments in this game full of hidden passages and stuff, and you're just like, what? I can do that now? Like, you know, for instance, there's like a tree, and then you figure out, oh, I can actually just walk behind that tree and save myself half hour. So that's always a good old time. Elden Ring, I got on the Elden Ring hype. Like most people, I don't think they finished it. I got past the first boss, went into the castle, did a bit of exploring. You okay, mate?
I made myself laugh.
Are you laughing by looking at yourself?
What did you
Do
do?
you have mirrors in your house?
He's a vampire.
I'm done. Sorry.
He's closing. Elden Ring, I feel like
a vampire.
is both.
Are you trying to segue? Is
No.
that what's going on? He's still talking about Elden Ring.
He's going to talk about Sonic Frontiers before the vampire one as well.
Elden Ring is the most accessible Dark Souls game I think they have released, but it is still a Dark Souls game, and I don't think it will be for everyone's taste. It's just there is so much there's lack of tutorial, I suppose, and it is do something, learn the hard way, do it again until you get it right.
Get good.
Get good, yeah, pretty much. And there is just so many different things that go on in that game that you don't even realize until you read a wiki or you immerse yourself like 50 hours in, and then there's still even more to do. Third one is Sonic Frontiers. It's Sonic Open World. I haven't played as much of that as I'd like to, but I feel like from what I've played thus far, I feel like if they were to take this formula that Sonic's got with the open world and just iterate on that, it will be probably a future game of the year. But what?
You okay?
Are you now looking at Ryan, looking at himself?
I was looking at Dobbie.
We are professional.
We can't even see the camera from this anymore.
I think there's something in the water.
Breaking.
I think there's something in the water, Andy.
I'm not sure was it those burgers we just ate, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't pleasant.
Yes, Sonic.
When did you put a hat on?
It's cold in here.
Have you just been dead focused on yourself that you've realised? Like,
To viewers, Ryan just like that. It's
I don't know where else I'm
what's wrong
supposed to
with
look.
He's like a baby that's starting to realise his reflection.
I always hate being on camera when we record. Like when we do The Simpsons, I just can't. I just have to look everywhere.
is
But
it easier for you to not see yourself right now then?
yeah,
Okay.
when we record on Discord, I can turn off my camera so it's just you two. But the problem is, whenever we're recording, I still end up like looking down, so it looks like my eyes are always closed.
Probably right out of shot.
You're a good producer, man.
Thank you. You're still a little bit out of shot. You need to get a little bit closer.
I'm gonna have to cut so much out of this.
I think
You like-
keep it all in.
Oh!
Tom apparently has been training to become a professional wrestler.
The soldier stuff is funny.
That tickled.
Or a footballer. That tickled. That tickled.
Got me sidey boobs.
We definitely have enough footage for a Sharkies outtakes video. So there you go. You got that.
Yeah, Ryan is editing it. It's just him like,
It's just him just staring at him.
and then put a webcam of you editing yourself, editing yourself. And then put a camera on it, Evelyn editing you.
My game of the year is a game called Vampire Survivors.
Speaking of vampires,
Thank you, Edward. It is a 2D. It's just a 2D game. You control a little sprite, and what you do is you walk around this world. There are about 7 levels, and
That's
the
not many
enemy.
levels.
What's that?
That's not many levels.
You should play the game, mate. It's more than enough. All the enemies are always coming towards you. You start off with a character. There are many characters to unlock. Each character has a special weapon they start with. Over the course of the game, you kill the enemies, which create gems. The gems help you level up, which in turn causes you to get more abilities. And there are also buffs there as well. So every time it's a bit of chance, it is a bit of skill. You can unlock powerful power-ups, and then the buffs help you make them even more powerful. For instance, like every level up, you could get another 10% damage, another 10% area of effect. And then what happens is more stronger enemies and just more enemies in bulk come towards you. And as you do that, just more things are popping off on the screen. Very colourful, very, very bright. It just itches something in my brain. It was like, oh, I've got 15 minutes to do a quick game. And
Is it like Hades?
no, it's nothing like Hades. It's more of a like bullet hell sort of thing. I would describe it as. But you're trying to avoid it a bit more, and you've got a bit more going on. And then at the end, it's really because it's an indie game, and they didn't really know how to end the levels, as far as I can tell. So what they do is they have this unkillable enemy who's just basically death with his robe and his scythe, and he just comes on screen, kills everyone, and then kills you, and that's the end of the level. Simple, really good stuff.
does he have a Jamaican accent like the Grim Reaper in The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy?
That is a reference right there, my friend.
It's
No,
a
he
good show.
does- there is no voice acting in this. There are special effects like on the screen, and there is a good soundtrack. And so mostly it is just open world. Well, not open world, but these levels are very
Nice.
open. But then when you hit specific secret goals, sometimes like you end up, for instance, in heaven, or you can be in a dark hallway, and it's just tricking your mind. But the surprises are what makes the game the best, I believe. And I think this is probably one of the best games of the year because it's style and simplicity in a package that I have never played before. That's my video game of the year. Back to you.
During your chat there, our host of this episode was scrolling Twitter and BBC News
I
before getting close to me and holding my hand for the camera.
we record with Tom every day, and most of the time he's looking at his crutch, where I assume he's glued his phone to.
I already had a point I wanted to add, so I was just waiting for a moment to dive in. Can I offer the developers a note for any future patches?
You can. I can't guarantee that I'll listen.
Because I think in the Heaven area, if they wanted to update the soundtrack, an 8-bit version of Higher by Creed would go down quite well, given that that's what I think we'll be playing in Heaven when we die.
So you believe in heaven?
I believe we're all going to some sort of paradise. Why wouldn't I?
Fair enough. I'm still
I don't know
rocking.
what Creed is.
Hmm?
It's a great movie.
He's not going in there.
Creed. You don't know Creed.
It's a great movie.
Scott Stapp is my Lord and Saviour. That's not true.
Any questions about Vampire Survivors?
What platforms is it on, Craig?
It's on Xbox via the Game Pass and Steam on the personal computers, and it's about 4 or 5 English pounds. So it is not a big for the amount of time I've played it. It is definitely worth the money. I got it on Game Pass, and then I thought I need to give this developer money, so I bought the game on Steam. So yeah.
Is there a page on the UpsideDownShark.com website where people could learn more about Vampire Survivors?
There is actually, yes. Let's put a note in the description below, linking to it. Let's remember to do that. Yes, producer?
Yes.
Don't be scared.
Well, I don't know whether or not I'll be able to keep up with Ryan's energy for the rest of this episode, so I'm going to let him go next so that I can take a break.
I don't remember agreeing to be a producer.
You've been doing more producer stuff than I have.
I just turn up and say things.
Isn't that what a producer does?
Necessarily believe it. My pick of the year is Major League Baseball, the show 2022, and that is solely because it is the only game that I bought that came out this year. It's very good if you like baseball. If you don't like baseball, it's not the best game in the world.
What is the best team in MLB The Show 22?
Well, that is a good question, Tom. And there isn't a correct answer unless you say the Cubs. They are the best team.
I feel like
here
this is like almost football banter, like levels of stuff I don't. Is that
I'd sooner listen to baseball chat than football chat.
I mean, I am a Yankee boy through and through. So
I've always said that about you.
I've seen him yanking.
I saw when they had Aaron Judge at the London series, and
Me too.
hey, we didn't probably even know each other back then.
We didn't.
But it was a good time. I still don't understand the rules of baseball.
Okay. I'm not going to go into it right now, but
You can do a UDS sports podcast if you want. Just make sure me and Dobbie are nowhere near it.
UDS The Show 22.
yeah, here we go.
Is there any major update on 22 to compared to 21?
I don't know because I did not play 21.
Very good.
The only update, I guess, would be that it's now on different consoles.
What platform did you play it on?
I played it on Nintendo Switch, Craig, and let me tell you for why.
You couldn't afford a Steam Deck.
Because, Craig, I asked my good friend Craig Bourne to download it on Xbox so I could see whether I would like it for the day that we were staying over at his house, and he just sent back 3 laugh emojis. And I was like, well, I'm going to like it anyway, so I bought it on Switch and played it at his house when I was looking after my baby.
So what you're saying is I didn't really add anything to that story.
I just
regardless.
wanted to know if I would like it.
If you were serious, you should have just said, I'm being serious.
I did say I'm being serious, and you sent more laugh faces.
Yeah, that's not I knew you were going to buy that game.
Yeah,
anyway.
It was just determining whether I was going to get it on Switch or PlayStation.
Oh, okay, right. Does this look better than the Switch version? Probably.
Which it does. And the Switch version, I wouldn't play it online, but it's nice to have it. Like when I was in hospital the other week, I just played it.
How many years are we into the Switch now? And just the portability of the thing is just so
It's
good
just a
still.
selling point.
5.
Yeah.
We are in the 5th year of the Switch.
Starting to show a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, they do need to. Apparently, that new Pokemon game that came out is pretty
Ooh.
wank.
Yes.
But speaking of Pokemon,
There we go. You've done a good segue.
Dobby.
Oh!
I have a feeling
I
what
haven't
your
finished.
favourite game of the year was, and
yeah.
does it start with Pokemon?
It does. I've played 2 new games this year, and one of them doesn't fit this category and instead fits a laser category. So we'll talk about it then. My pick is the only other new video game I've played this year, which is Pokemon Legends Arceus, Ryan. And it is Arceus. The Pokemon is called Arceus. It's not Arceus, so there.
Kiss my Arceus.
Exactly. It's it's a Pokemon game through and through, but it is slightly different to the normal formula. It takes place back in time, back when they were only just inventing like Pokeballs and potions and all that sort of stuff. Instead of, the 2D or 3D in later versions, just one-on-one battle system, it's now a case of just lob a ball and catch things. You don't even have to fight if you don't want to. You're crafting all your ingredients and stuff. There's little quests to do. The story's all right for a Pokemon game. To be honest, it doesn't feel too much like the typical hand-holding, this is a kid's story that adults won't enjoy. This one actually feels kind of nice for the most part. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's kind of an open world in some respects. It's just nice to run around, see the Pokemon out in the wild and just catch them. There you go. Good time. I had fun with it. Best game of the year? Probably not. It's what I've got to put forward.
Can I so usually there is a main Pokemon game and then there's like the spin-off. This is obviously the spin-off one this year. What is it, like Pokemon Dungeon and things
Mystery
like that?
Dungeon.
Yeah, they've been ones in the past. Would you say this is probably one of the best spin-offs from the main series?
Yes, but it's not a spin-off as such. It is a main series game.
Okay.
Isn't it just Pokemon Breath of the Wild?
No.
No.
No, it's what it looked like it might be. And I think if it had been a fully open world like that, it could have been. But instead it's more like 5... I don't want to say enclosed because it gives a bad idea. They are big areas. But, I mean, once you've explored one, you have explored it. It's not like Breath of the Wild where something feels still kind of gripping to look at.
So what you're saying is there's this Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, which is basically what that is, but closed off areas.
If you say so.
Hyrule Warriors
like-
is just a Dynasty Warriors game, though, right?
Yeah, but it's big, sort of 5 or so big areas.
Right, okay.
Yeah, but so Dynasty Warriors.
I think he means more of the landmass rather than the. Shut him up.
It's like 5 areas. They've all got distinct things. There's loads of cool Pokemon to catch. There's,
Can you trade to mainline games?
I think you can.
Is there a box system?
Sort of a box system. It's more like a pasture, I guess.
Gotcha.
let you keep them in. You can sort of see all your Pokemon standing out there.
Like
It's quite
your
nice.
Pokemon Ranch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think that's the main way of probably getting between games is to use the roundabout way that they want with Pokemon nowadays, which is the extra app on the. Is it Pokemon Home? I think it's called.
Subscription service, isn't it?
Yeah, you just put all your Pokemon from all your games in there, and you can put them in other games and all that shit.
But time travel. Is that
But
not-
time travel, apparently, who knows? Who knows what that means?
Have they updated the Pokemon Wrap to reflect all the new Pokemon since
Pokemon.
Pokemon?
I think they did typically do a new version of the Pokemon Wrap for every new generation, but I can't say I saw it.
It must go on for about 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Is this game still an RPG?
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em.
No, I wouldn't say.
What
I mean, like your
generation?
Pokemon are still leveling and you are still battling, but it's not the core concept.
It's like they changed the core concepts and then was able to make this game.
Yeah.
And does the Switch hardware still, could it be better? I suppose
It could be better. There are times where in terms of performance, I don't think it ran too badly for me. There are definitely areas where it looks, it starts to glitch out in the sort of it did in Breath of the Wild, to be honest. I don't think it runs that badly, to be honest. It's a lot of pop in and stuff. It's maybe 30 feet in front of you is the cut off before things start loading. Sometimes you'll see a Pokemon in the distance and it's very noticeably just a 2D sort of flapping thing, whatever.
very framey.
I'm surprised they haven't tried to explain it away that Pop In is just the evolution of Coffin.
Is that why you were smiling so much?
Pop In!
Anything else?
I had fun of it. That was January.
What a terrible year.
Very good, very good. Was that released in January then?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm surprised you remember that far back. I can't. Anyway, I have played quite a few games this year, either for the channels or occasionally for fun.
Nowhere in between.
I do enjoy playing them for the channel, but a lot of the games I played have been ones from previous years, but there are a few this year that have stood out. I really enjoyed the House of the Dead remake on Switch. I'm a big fan of light gun games, and I feel like they are a bit of a dying breed, so anything that kind of brings that back around is fine by me. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is a fantastic next step in the Lego formula. Dobbie, that's really off-putting.
He's looking at you.
What are your ear
whimsically.
studs?
It's a little planet.
Is it?
Nerd!
I thought it was a paperclip.
Yeah, it's a little planet. Lego Star Wars is quite a big departure from the previous games because it goes from sort of the more top-down view to more over the shoulder, which does give it more of kind of like a, not first person, but more of that kind of action in the thick of it thing, which is a lot of fun. Plus, just the amount in that game will keep you going for ages because it does every one of the mainline movies. So it's a really good time. Again, easy for me to say being a Star Wars mark, but I think the Lego games are fun for everyone. They are more often than not a good time.
I've got a question.
Go on.
About House of the Dead remake.
Please do.
You say you like light gun games.
Yes.
How does that work on the Switch?
You use the Joy-Cons.
Oh, motion.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you're in portable mode, can you just tap the screen?
Yes.
That's interesting.
I think it's the analog stick, and yeah, but it's still fine. I've only ever done it with the, but it's good. It's the first 2 games, I believe, the House of the Dead remake. Don't quote me on
Bring
that.
back Joy-Cons. Not Joy-Cons, gun cons.
Yes.
Remember, from Time Crisis, they were good.
I think actually I've kind of sold myself that actually I think Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga is my favourite game of the year. I have also got written down here Goat Simulator 3, which Craig and I was lucky enough to have an early preview of, and I'm pretty confident it's going to be one of my favourite games of the year based purely on the preview. So I wanted to give it a special mention, but for the amount of time I've sunk into it, for just the silliness of it all, like even the way that there's like little Easter eggs if you pair it, because as you know, with a lot of Lego games you can partner up with characters that have different dialogues or different abilities or whatever, and like when you partner up Kid Anakin with Darth Vader, it's just pretty funny. It's just like, I see great things in your future, blah, blah, blah. And that's just Anakin. Cheers, Ryan. It's a good game. It's a good game. I haven't really sunk my teeth into anything big like Elden Ring, so Lego Star Wars has been my fave.
Okay. So, if we're going to discuss these 4 games, I think in all seriousness we should say to Ryan.
Do I get to pick? I've played none of them.
You've played. I was going to say.
I'm going to vote for Sonic Frontiers.
Are we getting rid of MLB?
Well, no one else has played it.
Okay.
I liked it a lot, but I'm really into baseball, so.
Okay.
Go Cubs.
Go Cubs. Coming to London next year.
I don't care. My only other point before we get to shut up our ultimate favourite is that I want to point out that I could have put money on Scorn being my favourite game of the year based on all the trailers and the hype for it. It looked like my kind of thing, and I thought it was utter wank, and I was so sad.
That the Scorn is like they trailered it as like a horror sort of thing,
Yep.
And then it was more walking simulator, wasn't it? Yeah.
I was so sad. I was so sad of how bad it was.
It's the only game I know of this year where you put your hand into wet holes.
Clearly, you've never played a Leisure Suits Larry game.
Was there one this year?
Probably.
Does he just wish he was doing that?
I don't know. I've never played any of them.
I thought the idea was he was not good at what he wanted to be good at.
Wet Dreams Don't Die is a subtitle of one of those games. I will probably never play a wet
dream.
A wet dream. I can guarantee you that.
One day you'll have one. Hopefully not. They're a mess.
Have you had one?
In the past, yes.
How was it for you?
It was horrible.
But what's the dream before nice?
I don't remember. I was
You just remember the mess.
I was an adolescent.
Seeing just psychological wise, as soon as we started talking about this, Tom just started edging out of the frame.
Tom started edging.
Yeah, started edging. I've been edging for 27 years, mate.
Can I put this simply for this video game category? Tom, I'm sure you like the games. All of them are sequels in some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
Yes. Doesn't sound like you're that interested.
Craig, we know it's going to Vampire Survivors.
Well,
no one cares.
Okay.
No one cares. But
I would have retribution of this category after all these years.
You're right. Red Dead Redemption 2 is the best game of the year.
It's a good game.
It is a good game.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
It's a
It
really
is.
great
Yeah,
game.
And it deserved to win.
It's my favourite video
Yeah,
game. Why haven't you picked God of War Ragnarok? We should probably mention that.
I haven't played it.
There you go.
That's the simplest reason. I have thought about stealing my family's PS4 and playing it because
You got Click.
I've heard that God of
No.
War. Oh god.
Tom has extended my taskbar.
And I've been messing around with his computer as well.
I hear that God of War PS5 Ragnarok is really good, but like the technical know-how to get it running on the PS4 and look as good as it does apparently is something to behold. So, but I can't comment on it because I haven't played it.
Can I just say how like underwhelming the game selection is before Christmas this year?
Yeah. This
You know,
year,
it's Call of Duty.
Yeah, the Call of Duty and a God of War. They're both
That's a
shit.
this year they
Have you played
warned.
them?
I played the first God of War and I hated it. And I haven't played Call of Duty for like 10 years.
They warned us at the end of 2021 that this was going to be a quiet year for gaming in general, because of just delays and whatever. So, I think
I don't understand though why like all of the games that I'd be interested in come out in January or February.
I think
Let's push a couple to.
because they know as a father you'll be spending all of your money in December, and so January is the month for you.
I think maybe the time for you to like. There's always going to be these big bombastic releases, but like films, maybe. Did he just whisper ejaculation?
Big bombastic releases.
Great.
This is why we don't do these in person all the time.
Go to some more indie games. That's where there's going to be more interesting
Why
things.
would I do that? All I want to do is play Fire Emblem and Harry Potter.
Well,
Don't complain when there's no games being released.
There are no
Suppose.
games being released. But
he's a transphobic weeb.
Weep.
Vampire Survivors is a game where it just
Craig.
does something so...
Craig.
You can sell Vampire Survivors all you want. I'm not going to play it.
Right, so we are doing an awards show and it has won. So I am
No.
describing why it has won.
No,
Because
Craig.
no one else wanted to argue with you.
Craig.
I think the baseball game should win.
You don't have my vote yet. Neither do you. But you will have my vote if.
Do I?
Fuck you. You will have my vote if you can do a cover of "I'm a Survivor" but with the lyrics "Vampire Survivor."
Isn't it? Well, I don't know. I just know the chorus. Like,
Yeah, that's what you need.
All you have to do is change Ima to vampire.
Yeah.
well, I
Do it. Sing, monkey.
This has spiraled. Vampire Survivors has won the best video game for this.
Don't let him out
I'm
of
not
this.
gonna play it, Ryan. Just because you keep going on about it doesn't mean I'm gonna play it.
You're the one who fucking played it, Craig.
Someone throws something at these two.
No, I'm calm. I'm calm.
Vampire Survivors, it is the winner. 2000 Sharky awards for it now.
This is almost as long as the last episode was.
Wow.
Are we going to do the Tasmanian Tiger 2 Bush Rescue or
Well,
Video
well-
Game Award in this video?
No. You will have to stay tuned
That's-
for next
That's bad
episode.
producing, that.
I don't care.
Next episode, we're going to look back at our favourite games we played in 2022 that didn't release in 2022. They released in the past, but we still enjoyed them at this time around. So for now, we will.
So I don't get to say my piece about Vampire Survivors.
But you've already said it.
You already
No,
said
I
it about
didn't.
You
4
went on for like
times.
25 minutes about it.
Interrupted me.
Now this is bad producing.
Now let's start talking about Top Gear again because
Top Gear.
Top Gun. Damn it.
I
Damn it.
didn't even say that much.
I'm sorry that something I liked won. I just want to talk about it as to why it won, but apparently we can't even do that.
Why did it win, Craig?
Because it's something very unique and we should be championing new and unique ideas here at Upside Down Shop.
Okay, thank you.
No, I'm going to cut him off at because.
Thanks for watching. 3 more to go.